Okay, so what I have a treat pouch, a food pouch, filled with, peanut butter yogurt sweet potato. And I have a clicker. We're going to learn a new behavior. Oh, and place. So, like in prior videos from early shaping, I am clicking when I treat and giving him the behavior name. So the behavior that we're looking for is place. And so now I'm naming it, and I am, because he gets it really, really quick, I'm not going to worry about just trying to get him on the bed. He already knows how to get on the bed. So now what I'm doing is adding time between the clicks and treats, or the click and treats, so that we can get him to stay up here longer. So the goal is for him to stay up here once he's placed up here. So the behavior is like charging a phone, that he's going to go to his place, or we put him on his place and he just hangs out there. With a behavior like this, it is especially helpful for times like when we are fixing dinner or eating dinner. Maybe we have company over and we just don't want the dog under our feet. And maybe we just take it a step further and we train them to go to their place when someone comes to your door, either when they knock on the door or they ring the doorbell. That is a way to keep the dog away from the door and bolting out the door, and out from underneath your guests' feet when they're arriving. Maybe grandma isn't stable on her feet and has a hard time getting in the house, so you don't want the puppy right underneath her feet as she's coming in that door. So you start to teach him that every time you go to the door, he hears someone knock at the door or hears the doorbell, that he goes to his place. That takes quite a bit of time to train. It is a worthwhile behavior to train, however, but it does take a while to train, and it takes more than one person to practice this, because it takes someone to knock at the door, ring the doorbell, and it takes someone to repetitively take him back to his place and reward him for staying on his place. And then each time he breaks his place, you would just simply take him back, and then repeat that exercise multiple times a day. So here we are, and he's just getting a little bit of this mixture, which is really, really helpful. This is a great gut beneficial mixture. Again, it was just equal parts of yogurt and pureed pumpkin. You could also use sweet potato. My preference is sweet potato, but Costco had a great deal on canned pumpkin, so I used pumpkin. So equal parts of yogurt and canned pumpkin, and then a little bit of peanut butter. How much is a little bit? Measure with your heart. But some peanut butter to give it a yummy flavor for him. You could use chicken broth, a low sodium chicken broth. You could use pureed green beans in here if you wanted. but I'm gonna turn around so maybe you can see his cute little face while we're doing this. Unfortunately, this camera tracks me, so anytime I move, it's gonna track with me, so I apologize. So the goal here is just to keep him on his cot or on his place for as long as we can. So now I'm gonna try to stay in the frame with him, and I'm just gonna step further away. And then I'll step in every few to reward him for staying on his place. And then if he comes off his place, I will give him a verbal correction and just physically move him back to his place. And this is how we teach this behavior. This is something that, you know, like all things, if you don't use it, they're going to lose the skill. They'll forget the skill. But it is something that takes practice once they go home, because they know how to behave for me, but they know you don't know how to do this. They read you very quickly, and it is so easy to get frustrated when you see them do it for me, but them not want to do it for you. That's totally normal. So this is something you'll want to practice when you're getting home. Place. And I'm physically putting him back up there. Place. And I give him his command. He doesn't get a treat for that because he left his place, and I don't want him to think that leaving his place and then getting back up there after being corrected deserves a treat. So I'll give him a few here before I start to treat again. Oh, and by the way, these little pouches, this was a refillable food pouch. They're called Mom Cozy. I'll actually put them on my Amazon storefront for you, but they're great little refillable food pouches. I think I got, I don't know, maybe 10 of them, and that's maybe a bit excessive for an individual, but these would be great if, you batch made some treats and then froze them. I don't know about your kiddos, but this would be a great way to also do like applesauce, because you can buy those applesauce packets, but you can't see in them. So I'm always afraid of, like, is there mold in those things? How long have they been sitting there? But now you can, if your kiddos can't eat applesauce, you can, fill these with applesauce at home. Bulk buy a large container and then fill them. Nice, good boy. But these are a really handy little pouch, and I just came across them, and I came across treat pouches at the pet store, and one little 4-ounce pack was $7, and I knew that I could do this myself for much, much less, and then I can control the ingredients. And since he was just at the vet yesterday and got his boosters, I figured he probably would need some good, an introduction of some good flora in his system, because yesterday was a stressful day with that vet visit and those vaccines. Good boy, good place. So as you can see, he's staying up here, and I'm just stepping in every now and then to reward. As we start to build this behavior, we're going to add things like distance. So I'm going to even move out of camera frame as we continue to work this behavior. I'm going to add duration, so longer time periods staying on the cot. And then I'm going to start to add distraction, things like mopping the floor or vacuuming. Which I desperately need to do. The cat in my house also acts as great distraction. My boys walking through the area, my husband coming in and out the door, me opening and shutting doors. Those are also great forms of distraction. So we'll begin to add those things like distance, duration, and distraction. We call those the 3 Ds, and that's how we work each behavior that he learns. Oh, good boy. Now on place, it should be noted that I don't really care what they do while they're up here. They can take a nap, that's fully their choice. They can play with a toy. They can roll around, they can stand on their head. As long as they stay on their place, and oh my gosh, I wish you could see his face. He is absolutely the cutest puppy. He's gonna watch me for as long as he's on this thing. But he is absolutely the cutest puppy. And so I apologize, you're getting the rump view of him. I'm gonna step in again. Click, place. So he knows I want him to stay up there. You've got a treat, because we're building that duration. I'm actually gonna give him a toy. Here you go. There. So now you have something to do while you're up there. Yeah. So I don't really care what he does. All I care about is that he stays up here. So this is something we've been working on in terms of just target training. He picked up getting on his place really quickly, so I didn't need to work with shaping the behavior of getting up there. He was totally fine getting up there. Now I'm just shaping the behavior of staying there. And he's doing a great job. I'm absolutely loving that he is staying up here. I'm not having to correct it. He's just hanging out. Now tomorrow this may be totally different, or later on in the day when we work this behavior, we could get a totally different response, which is why we work it on a daily basis. So I recommend working this behavior daily. I again recommend utilizing place when you're eating dinner or you're cooking dinner, or both, in fact. But just have him on his place. I do recommend putting the leash on him so you can easily guide him back up there, because having treats all the time isn't always feasible, but you can guide him back up using his leash, and apply gentle correction that way with the leash, so that he knows that he has to stay up there. And when you go home with him, you're going to have to reinforce the behavior, and so you're going to have to get him back up there over and over and over again. He knows, he's going to know to stay up there for me, but he's got to learn that he has to stay up there for you. So that is totally normal. It will be normal. Don't feel discouraged when he hops off of this thing when you get him up there. Just keep reinforcing that he has to go back up there. And then remember to reinforce. He dropped his toy. So in a case like this, I don't know if you can see it, that if I move out of the way maybe just a little bit, you can see underneath his cot, there's a shadow. Oops, I don't know why I did that. His toy fell off. Now, if he were to get off of his cot to get his toy, I would totally be okay with that. As long as he got back up on his cot after he got his toy. Now right now he can reach his toy, but he's trying to figure out, can I get off to get this? He has already learned, I want him to stay up here. So I'm gonna treat him because that was really, really hard. I'm gonna put his toy over there so maybe you can see his cute face. Yes. He says, oh, you've got the treats, lady. Oh, yummo. Oh, he's got this little pumpkin mixture on his face. I'm gonna try to come over here. Oh, place. Now this is where I'm gonna physically help him back up here. He's like, what? Place. I'm stepping in to provide a block so he doesn't jump down. And sorry for the rear view, but I think his face is much cuter, and I think you'd agree. You don't care if you see my rear, as long as you get to see his face. His face is so much cuter. And sorry, my camera is confused about what I want it to do. Stand like this. Doesn't help at all. But anyways, you can see that cute face. That cute face. And by the way, he was so good at the vet yesterday. I took toys so that they can play. All of the puppies can play, because I have several puppies right now that are going through training that went to the vet yesterday. But I took toys yesterday so that they could play while they were waiting for the vet. That absolutely helped. I took their treats so that they could have their treats during that vet visit. Place. Isn't he the cutest? Good boy. Good boy. He's an absolute love of a puppy. I adore how sweet he is. I adore how sweet he is. By the way, let me know if your kiddos have nut allergies. I know you've got some GI issues that you deal with in your house, but if you have nut issues, I will make sure that I stop utilizing a product with nut in it this week, so that we go home and transition with no nut. Otherwise, we'll continue with this, what he thinks is absolutely delicious pumpkin yogurt and peanut butter treat. Look at that little face. Isn't he cute? I hope this video lets you see his tongue. He's absolutely cute. Here comes the cat. She's going to provide distraction. She probably wants treats too. She just walked through. He's watching her. There's great distraction. He's like, oh, here, critter, 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 critter. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Come here. Great distraction. Good place. Go, leave it. Good boy. Good boy. The cats always like to get in on training sessions because they know I have treats. And they usually are treats that the cats also really like. And so they will come try to do whatever I'm teaching the puppies. And my cats are like 7, 8 years old, so they all know these behaviors. So it's really cute. Sometimes I'll get a cat doing a place with a dog, or doing sits or downs with puppies, so that they can get treats too. They're, despite, cats being somewhat difficult at times, they are really smart. Good boy. So I hope you enjoyed this session of place. The goal of the place behavior is just to have some place for him to be while you're doing something. You know that he is out of harm's way. He doesn't have to be in his crate. It teaches them that doing nothing is actually doing something. It is a great mental exercise for them. because they have to consciously stay aware and stay where you've asked them to stay. And it's a great way to just get them to settle down. Doing nothing is doing something. And this is a great way to teach a young puppy and to get older dogs to just be settled, to just be calm, to just be in a space without having something to do. This is doing something for them. So I hope you enjoyed this little session. I hope this is something that you will find useful in your home, and I also hope that it is something that you will continue to work on with him, because the things you don't engage are the things that they will lose. And I apologize for all the racket. I've got a puppy in a crate. It's mandatory crate time while we work trainings with puppies individually, and I've got a dog in a crate with a bone that he's going to town on. So all that noise, I apologize for. Good boy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that session.